first thing that we are going to be talking about naturally is the Dalvin Cook situation and just more and more information that has come out. So my opinion from the very jump was I thought it was very likely the Dolphins would end up signing Dalvin Cook. It's now been clear that the Dolphins and him have had some communications, and today, for about 20 minutes, there was thoughts that
Bro.
maybe he rejected a visit to the Dolphins. That has then come out to not be true. And in just how it looks like it's down to the three AFC East teams of the Patriots, the Jets,
hmm
and the Dolphins. So we are getting closer and closer to an ending to the saga, and just hopefully it goes the way of the Dolphins. How confident right now, today, do you feel about Dalvin Cook ending up as a Dolphin?
I'm about 78% sure he's going to be a Dolphin.
78% sure. That's a very weird number.
Weird number.
That's a
Yeah,
very
man.
that's a very weird number, which I
Bro,
like weird numbers, so go for it.
I know you do. I know you do. So yeah, 78% sure. It's like because I'm not sure. I'm not 100% like 80%, and I definitely feel more confident than like 70%. So it's just I went for a weird number in the middle there. Um, it's really just like him having constant communications with the Dolphins, and then saying that he's a perfect fit. And now the Dolphins offered him a contract, and then with that whole little saga today, the way I took it, because the video that he retweeted on was mostly talking about the Dolphins, but it also briefly talked about the Jets. However, it did come out along with that he didn't reject a visit to the Dolphins, is that he didn't reject a visit to the Dolphins, Bills, Jets, or Patriots. So he didn't reject a visit to any of those four. So it may have been the Broncos that he actually rejected a visit from, because they were like one of the heavy contenders to trade for him, and then all of a sudden they dropped off the face of the planet from that conversation.
Yeah, and it makes sense that you don't want to end up as a Bronco. Now, I think Javonte Williams is going to take some time to be at full strength. Now, when does he actually touch the field? Maybe that might be week 5, week 6, but maybe he's not even 100% till week 9 or 10. But once he does come back and once he is at full strength, he is going to be the number one back and that offense, as well as they don't have a great offensive line. They added to that in the offseason. They got Mike McGlinchey. Not sure what they did, if anything, through the draft. I know Mike McGlinchey was the main offensive line
Bro,
signing from them. Is there
they
anybody I'm
signed a
missing?
whole they
They
signed
signed. They
a
signed a
whole
whole.
bunch of
They did sign a whole bunch of people, but we're not sure how it's actually going to materialize. As well as Russell Wilson, we
I
know
mean,
how much he struggled
it
last year, so it makes sense that he rejects them.
it is understandable that he rejects them, especially in that division in particular. I feel like he wants to help a team get over the hump. However, that division, you have Kansas City, then you just have a new offensive coordinator with the Chargers, that is going to help Justin Herbert actually throw the ball better. Uh,
And also
and
Austin
then
Eckler on top of that.
Austin Eckler on top of that. Like, that offense is already good, and they just drafted another receiver. They have a good offensive coordinator. They already have a good pass catching running back. That offense is set. So you're talking about the third best team in that division, more than likely, and trying to help them go over the hump, not going to happen. However, the Dolphins, you know, at one point we all thought that they were going to win this division last year. Then Tua got the first concussion, then the second concussion, and it was
You
just
mean
a
the
whole
second, then
mess.
third?
Whatever. Um, you know what I mean. And so yeah, that whole mess. So the Dolphins are ready for this. The Dolphins have the division in their sights. Now, the division's also wide open to almost everybody except really the Patriots. I think sneaky to take the third spot.
No.
Um,
Yeah, it's
but
sneaky to
I
get a
don't think it's
third
likely.
third bottom in the NFL. Maybe that's what you mean. Not trying to put words in your
I
mouth
was
here.
I I was gonna say over the Jets, but yeah.
Oh no, no, I
Um,
don't think they're anywhere near the Jets right now.
so
I think everything you're saying makes
so
a lot of sense for the Dolphins, and
yeah.
I do lean still that he ends up as a Dolphin. It makes sense football wise. You look at our backfield, we have the slot open for a number one workhorse running back. I don't think he still is the workhorse that he once was, but he definitely steps in and is the best running back on roster.
hmm
You do that with the Jets. Once Brees Hall's healthy, he's for sure the guy. You look at the
I
Patriots,
was
and
getting there.
while he is probably better than Ramondre Stevenson, there is that still a little bit that uncertainty whether he's going to be that true workhorse with how we saw Ramondre finish the season off last year, as well as the Patriots offense sucking, Patriots offensive line getting worse. Football wise, it makes so much sense. And then contractually wise, We did open up the money with Byron Jones. Haven't used that really at all. The money is there to give. He's from down here. I may not be as giddy to say 70, what'd you say, 78% that he joins the Dolphins. I may not be quite there.
Yeah.
I'd probably say 60% Miami, 30, I'll say 25% Jets, and then whatever the rest you can split between the Patriots and the Bills. I do not think he's going anywhere
Yeah.
besides the AFC East. So it
I think
makes
it's
so
that
much sense to
much
me,
that,
and
yeah.
we're just getting closer and closer to what I feel is almost inevitable.
Yeah, it's definitely coming sooner rather than later. Now he did want to sign by training camp, and training camp is at this point a couple weeks away for rookies, and about a little under a month away for veterans. So he wants to be signed by then, kind of get in the mix, learn a playbook. Um, and like you said, I think it's really narrowed down to the AFC East with how wide open it is between all the teams really. Uh, he also is open to the option of pairing with D Hop. D Hop is heavily considering the Patriots. Now he's only had two visits, D Hop, by the way, and that's been the Titans and the Patriots. He hasn't had another visit yet, which is kind of strange, but
Yeah, it definitely is. I
um
would have thought either one of them would have got their situation figured out right now, and I don't really like for both of them either. Well, I'll just talk about D Hop. I don't like either of those locations for D Hop. You have that Patriots offense that it should be better. Now you got O'Brien back there, but does Bill O'Brien have a good relationship with D Hop? Basically, he traded him away for a bag of chips, and we've never really successful. It's been a long time since we've seen a dominant wide receiver one for the Patriots, as well as more and more players are coming out against the Patriot way. And then Tennessee, who's going to be their quarterback? They don't have a single good quarterback on the roster. It's just a Derrick Henry show until the wheels fall off there. So I don't understand D Hop to either of those teams.
I mean, if D Hop wants to contend for a championship, I don't understand those teams. However, if he wants volume and he uh and on like a 1 year deal get volume and then show he still has it and then go get paid somewhere else a year later, then I do think that those teams make sense because like you said, they really lack wide receivers there in both areas. And so he could be the number one over in the Titans. He's easily the number one over on the Patriots. But yeah, so it is weird. Anyways, back to
Yeah, one thing I was going to ask,
Dalvin
wanted to
Cook.
ask you about Dalvin is, what team could you truly say he makes that much of a difference on more than the Dolphins with the guys that we just mentioned at the teams?
The
If you want to talk about the Bills, they already have a running back. His name's Josh Allen. He's wearing 17. Like, he just runs the ball a lot. They have refused to turn and hand the ball off. Now,
But
they haven't had a
imagine
running back the caliber of Dalvin Cook. However,
exactly.
they're just running Josh Allen into the ground. So I guess there is that option.
But
So
they're
football wise,
also
that makes the most sense. But also that seems like the least talked about place where he might go to of the division.
well, it's the least talked about because his brother's there, and a lot of people like myself don't think that like yeah, it'd be cool to play with your brother, but you're at the same position, so you want your brother to succeed. You don't really want to overshadow your brother again, and like you want him to get his touches, get his money, like you
And I will
did.
say, I
So
think his brother's pretty trash.
I know you do. A lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah, because he is.
I'm holding my opinion on him for now.
He has
I,
never
I
in
need
his college or pro career had a game where he rushed more than 13 times.
I understand that. So
Trash.
he was drafted in what, the third round for a reason. So
Yeah, the reason was his last name's Cook. That's the only reason.
we'll see how he does this year, given if Dalvin doesn't go to them. But a reason for Dalvin to go to the Bills, especially Josh Allen, has been talking a lot this offseason about taking less hits, throwing the ball a little bit more, and not running as much and putting his body in harm's way, especially after suffering that elbow injury. Given that elbow injury happened when he was in the pocket, which ironically, but yeah, I think that's a good spot for him because it'll help diversify the offense. That's exactly the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Diversify the offense.
Yeah, football wise, If not Miami, it does make the most sense there. They do not have a
Mhm.
running back of any quality. I mean, Damian Harris is very okay, and then they got what your boy Latavius Murray that you absolutely love to talk about in fantasy football wise.
I dropped him, bro.
Yeah, it took about 2 or 3 weeks of him being on the Bills roster before you dropped him. I remember when he initially signed on the roster, you were like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Dude, he's gonna suck."
Bro, I did that as a joke.
No, you did not. You did that, and
Bro,
you did
what?
that. You
I
did
said
that.
I said
You did
RB1
that to try to
as a
trade him.
joke.
You did that because you wanted to see if he had trade value. Don't lie to me.
I didn't drop him because I thought he would have a little bit of trade value. Then I picked up, two guys that had more trade
No, I'm
value than
saying
him.
that
So.
when he initially got there, you were kind of hoping that you'd be able to trade him for something because especially I know
Because
your brain. I know how your brain works where you're just
at,
fiending for
at the
trades.
time, at the time, Damian Harris wasn't there. So yes, I was fiending for a trade.
I don't think that's true. I think Damian Harris signed first.
Really?
I'm a solid 86 since we're just throwing out weird numbers. I'm a solid 86%
Why
that
not
he signed first.
87?
Because 87's stupid.
The prime number.
Because I'm pretty sure that's actually a good point. I didn't think about it like that. Wait, no, it's not. It's divisible.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's
It's
divisible
not.
by
It's
3. You
not.
absolute moron. I'm pretty sure the last Dolphin to wear 87 was Isaiah Ford, and he's awful. So